Welcome back.
Welcome back to Act 5. We have arrived at the gates of the fortress for this, the final act of Musica Universalis. We're still at 5:40 after the lengths of this adventures. So much has happened. We met a kitchen witch, Snow White. We won't call her that. Her name is Surya. We got stoned with Blackbeard. Happy 420.
Bluebeard.
Bluebeard.
Yep. Okay.
I'd rather get stoned with Blackbeard, but
Hell
yes,
yeah. What happened?
we
We
got stoned with Bluebeard. We got lost with the lost one, and now we are here at the gates of the fortress.
And we're all horsing around.
Time to kick the snot out of some fucking guy.
Look, if I had to like sum up the emotions of playing a TTRPG, and this will apply to this too, it's that you walk into the boss room with the most important villain you'll ever face and immediately start doing bits and sass at him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you're not quite at the fortress yet. As we see, you are standing at the gates, and they look very impressive. They resemble a Roman keystone arch with a wrought iron gate, also kind of like one might see if you were, say, driving down Los Angeles and looking at the entrances to studios. Above the iron gate on the arch, there's an inscription. It's a little hard to read, and there is a desk. And standing at the desk, there is a figure. To Medusa, shall we say, this figure might seem a little familiar, if only because of how they are dressed. They are wearing a robe, they have a little crown of leaves along their head. This is someone who's definitely Greco-Roman. You're not quite sure which, but they have a certain air of dignitas to them.
Dignitas.
I give you our final NPC.
Through me is the path to the forge productive. Through me is the way to remake dreams. Through me, lost things are found anew. Innovation drove my storied forefathers. I was formed. I was formed as a product of capital industry. Primal creation and the greatest prophets. Nothing before me was made so grand, and I shall be that which endures forever. You who enter, abandon all you own.
All we own. Well, I don't have very much.
And
I
nothing
own
lasts
anything.
forever, so you're kind of getting ahead of yourself.
I don't think I own anything. Well,
I mean,
I guess
aside
I
from the
sold from the
things we're
clothes.
wearing.
how can you own those things? Never mind.
Anybody who wants to can make a brains roll difficulty 8 to figure out who exactly this is.
Skilled at brains, I get roll a 9.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 2.
All
I
right,
got a rock.
9.
I am going to spend so many adversity tokens to help Alice.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't.
I get so many from failures, but because I'm
yep.
easygoing as well.
Yep, got a 9.
So so you need like 4 adversity tokens to get 8 points.
Oh
So
my
yes,
gosh.
Alice passes.
Oh god.
First tokens have you racked up? Oh my
That's because of easy going in loyal. I haven't even figured it out, but somehow accidentally I have metagamed this.
You are the most helpful
Okay.
in the party.
Easily.
You really do help us get unlost.
Alice,
Yeah, well,
Alice passes, but
I'm a rip anyway.
Skirka, my darling, I need you to make that DC 5 grit roll.
Hell yeah. All right,
Best of
let's
luck.
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
No.
Oh
Finally!
no!
Skirka, it's the worst possible thing that could happen to you. Your hair starts growing. Well, not growing, actually. You feel like it should be growing, but it's shrinking instead. It's retracting into
Oh,
your
no.
head. You feel a pair of glasses appearing across your face. Your clothes turn into a suit, and you suddenly feel the urge to be reading off news like this.
Yep.
Yelling
Alright.
sad numbers at the audience. Facts.
Let's do it.
Wish
Let's
facts.
do this.
I'm
I'm going to
I
say.
said I wasn't going to make you do this, and then
I'm
made you
going
do
to say
this.
that just before this happens, when Alice says that Skirka is helpful, they are going to say, "Yeah, well, I'm just a ripoff anyway," and then they're going to say, hang on, I just need to change my virtual background.
Oh
Uh,
god.
You have
Oh
this
my
so
God.
planned. You're so prepared.
Oh yes.
The whole bit, Brett.
We're really doing this. Oh my god.
Our main story tonight begins in Poland. That is to say, nowhere. It's a country you think about so little, you don't even realize. That's not Poland. This is Poland. Juliusz Słowacki, considered one of the 3 bards of Polish literature, writes a play about a fictional Slavic queen climbing her way to power through mostly blood, some love, and honestly very little rhetoric. The play takes inspiration from works such as Macbeth and Midsummer Night's Dream, forever condemning a certain little fairy servant to be the life of an obscure ripoff. No matter how hardworking and loyal they are, and if I'm not that, who am I? On the 200th anniversary of Słowacki's birth, a film adaptation of Balladyna is released. It's set in contemporary America, but somehow still stars Polish actors playing Americans in Polish. It's the farce of a thriller. Faye Dunaway is horribly dubbed over, and all in all, it just looks like an embarrassing high school production. I'm a journalist talking about the recession for some reason. Was that the only way that you could think international audiences could look at you as a series of filmmakers, Avishlak? Is that the only way I can ever be distinct, actually, as a journalist? Then what about
Skirka.
my loyalty? What do I turn to if I can't follow the Goplana? If the Lady of the Lake is not there, what can a journalist be loyal to?
The truth?
You could be
True.
loyal to yourself.
You could
Addie
be
and I have
loyal
the
to
same
the
brain
truth.
again.
You could
God
be.
damn it.
You could, especially right now, the way you look, which is sort of a resting accountant face, but you could be a shit stirrer.
You do look like you had most of your formative experiences at an H job.
I
I
do.
think,
I was-
Sweet
I was-
Jan, Sweet Jan, I think that we can. I think that loyalty to the truth
As
is very important
everybody
because-
kind of gets sidetracked and horrified by this Skirka's first regenerational trauma.
I really don't think I'm horrified at all.
I think I'm
the
extremely
back-
This is
delighted.
incredible. The dude
In
This
the
is
back
very
of your head,
confused.
you realize that the person who has been sitting at the gates and who was reading off the inscription written above you
Oh,
is Virgil.
sorry.
Oh.
Fuck's sake. Oh wait, oh sorry, I can do that again. Oh, for fuck's sake. That poem was so boring.
Was it?
What? These are the words of Wendy, not these are the words of Wendy Pan, not Ellie.
All right. Are they important? Or is he important? Again, you humans, you've changed so much. You sort of.
He's-
lose-
I think he would think he's
why.
very important. I don't think he's very important at all.
Actually,
I would like to know.
Virgil.
I would like to know that as well. Perhaps I can make some sort of 30-minute material on him in the future.
How do you respond to everybody talking shit about you, Virgil?
I'm Virgil.
Yes, we're aware.
I have nothing to prove. My literature has lasted through the ages.
Yes, because people were terrified that the stuff that you made up about the afterlife was true. It didn't really matter to them. Go find 100 people on the street and ask them to quote a line from one of your poems. 99 of them won't be able to do it, I promise you.
Yes, but their lives have been influenced by what I've written, even if they don't know my works.
No,
Literally
they
won't.
haven't.
Yes, they have through all the writers through the ages.
When
You
they've
didn't
been
touch my
influenced by
writers.
then they've been influenced by those writers, not by you.
But those writers have been influenced by me. The root, the seed that I planted grew and grew and grew and influenced other writers.
I have a
One long
question for
continuum.
you. Are you... I think there are two of you. Are you the person who wrote poems, or are you the person who is written of in a poem?
Both.
That's a cheat answer. You think you're important. I have a psychological condition named after, well, not me, but my previous self. So I think I outrank you, and I'm going through.
Oh no, you're not going through it all because I'm the gatekeeper and a psychological condition. No, I can't let you through.
But
She is far more than that. Thank you very much.
I can fly.
But she
You
defined
can't stop
herself.
me.
She
Wait,
defined
aren't you-
herself.
I didn't
Aren't you
define myself.
right?
I chose.
Is that all it is? A silly definition? Is that your problem?
No, a definition is never silly.
It's
How a
And
incredible.
person
lots of
defines
definitions are
themselves
silly.
makes themselves.
Definitions are by definition a little silly.
Lots of definitions
They
are
are a
silly.
way that you mortals categorize things so you can better understand them before you grasp it. You cannot understand anything. It's amazing. It's impressive. It's hilarious in the grand scheme of things.
It may be hilarious in the grand scheme of things, but a definition holds weight when you define yourself, because it is you who has defined yourself. And you just defined yourself as a mental illness.
No, I defined myself as something timeless, something that people will be reading. Not
So you're
just...
changing your definition now.
Our definitions change every day. I changed
Wendy?
what I was.
Wendy, I'm going to ask you for a brains check, difficulty of 9, because A, you are arguing with a long dead Roman poet, and B, you've already had at least one brain fart by assigning the Inferno and the Divine Comedy to Virgil when Virgil was not the writer. Oh,
Yeah.
Explosion.
Virgil was the character in it.
Yeah.
I made it. And I got another explosion.
okay, so good news is you may hate it. You feel a little silly for giving credit to the wrong person, and then you just remember that Virgil's still not that big a shot, because what is the Aeneid except a plagiarized, flip-flopped version of the Iliad and the Odyssey?
Please excuse my misspelling on Virgil. I cannot believe I did that.
That is
I
true.
think that Wendy's
No.
gonna get like tired of this conversation and just basically try to fly past him to go through the gate.
Okay, flight check. Difficulty 10.
I think I can do that. Ooh, it's gonna be tough. Nope.
Do you have adversity tokens?
I don't. I use them all up trying to bring down Bluebeard.
Anybody want to try to help Wendy?
I could try to.
And-
I could try to help, and Medusa would also like to point out, if you go by your logic, we owe far more to Homer than to you. Then
That's true. It's
I'm just a continuum.
No,
we transform all the time.
but
We take inspiration all the time.
but hold on. You said that you were both the person who wrote poems and the person of whom poetry was written, which means
I have many stories written about me.
which means that
Don't
you're
we
a
all?
guide. So guide us. What do we need?
Guide you?
Yes,
You want to be guided?
as Dante in the Inferno, yes. Virgil should lead us.
Sometimes guides decide the best way to guide is to forbid admittance.
Well, that's silly. So we're not gonna do that.
I think definitionally you think you will find that a guard and a guide are oppositional in their positions.
She's quite right.
A guide, though, should guide to what is best for those asking to be
Nope.
guided.
No.
And on what
Alice is right.
grounds
A
is that
guide
the
is
best?
not necessarily
You're
entail
changing your
movement.
definitions.
Mhm.
A guide
And on what
can entail
grounds, frankly?
being
Hey.
static.
There, let them finish.
You know, you don't have to. You don't have to feel bad about transforming Homer and things. I kind of feel silly wearing this now.
But I transformed Homer, and you transformed me.
So how can you be opposed to transformation? The only way you continue to survive in the minds of people as a transformation. Were you even originally written in English?
No.
Certainly not.
Oh, Wendy, that's terribly British of you.
Oh, no. Ah, but you British, you love me.
I don't love you. I don't have to love anyone.
Well,
Also incredibly British.
The
Hey,
museums
Zygon!
in London all
Hi.
have a little bit of my touch running through them, even though you can't quite tell.
I ran away from London when I was a baby to live in Never Neverland. So
Ah, but
I'm
you took a little bit
literally
of me
not
with
sure
you.
where I'm from. I know that there's a river that goes past it. I literally don't know.
So we're all transformed stories. That's your point. I guess. So do we really need to define ourselves? Do you actually care?
Do you need to define yourself?
Maybe not.
The riddle,
Skirka,
if
you're
it is a
starting to
riddle,
You
feel
don't
it.
need to define.
Skirka's feeling it, that warm feeling rising up again, and you don't need to define yourself. Fuck Puck. Fuck anybody. Fuck John Oliver-esque remakes that turn you into a reporter. Fuck the crazy bitch that, you helped put on the throne because of some freaking raspberries. You're Skirka. You're awesome. And, if nobody knows that, you'll make them know that.
I don't have to be responsible for what she did. I just did what I did. But I can affect my future actions. I was given this by a planner, you know. But I don't have to be a servant anymore.
You don't.
I just have to be me.
I like you.
Okay, so surrender all you have. All your possessions? Was that what it said?
Did it say?
Medusa, make a brains roll. Difficulty 6.
Ooh, okay. I'm using an adversity token. We gotta do better than that.
Okay, I am helping you with my last 2 adversity tokens.
Oh, I mean,
But-
I have. Oh my god, again?
Do
Okay,
you have the
you're
Do you have the lucky trait? Medusa has the.
no God.
So with my points, you. Oh, what was the DC again?
6.
Oh dear. With me, you have a 5.
I will be a nice DM. I will ignore that first use of an adversity token from Jazz
Okay,
and allow that to count towards your 6.
that's very sweet. Thank you.
You look up at the inscription and realize that it's written a little weirdly because they're not Virgil's words, these are Dante's words turned into something else.
That's
And the carving's a little bit off. In the same way that the previous forest looked a little wrong, so does the writing at the end. It doesn't say you who enter abandon all you own. It says abandon all your own. YOUR.
oh.
Miss all your own. You misquoted it.
You lot can be yourself too, you know. Skidcat's gonna attempt to go through the gate.
It gives way.
Skidcat stands behind the gate and holds out a hand to whoever will come first.
Wendy will follow Skirka.
So will Medusa.
And Loki.
Alice
And,
is
sh- and
hanging
she'll
back
actually
for a
reach out and
second.
pat. Okay, Medusa looks over her shoulder. Alice?
What does it mean? How did you walk through?
I don't know. I guess I just thought I wouldn't have to. I guess I just thought I didn't have to stand up to anyone's comparisons.
You don't.
What about
Wendy's
your
gonna
own?
like.
What about your own comparisons? The thoughts you have of who you are, and who you would like to be, and who you aren't, and who circumstances have made you be.
Wendy's gonna go back through the gate to like go like stand next to Alice and like take both of her hands in Wendy's and goes, "You're Alice. That's all you ever need to be. You don't. Doesn't matter who other people think you are.
I'm not always Alice.
But then you're not Alice."
You
Is it
can be
enough?
anybody.
Who are you when you're not Alice?
Alice is kind of like she runs her hand on the jacket and just goes, sometimes, most of the time, nonsense is fun and interesting and curious, and I want to see everything and understand it all, and sometimes it can't be understood. And that can be very scary. And sometimes I'm unable to move forward, and that's the scariest of all. And I think that when that happens, I'm not Alice anymore.
You won't be Alice then.
Alice kind of like looks over at Virgil. You are one of the greatest storytellers of all time. How do you reconcile there being You wrote of Troy, but you weren't the first to write of Troy. And there were things that you changed, there were things that you adapted, and who I don't think that I am the same Alice I was a year ago. Or was it 10 years ago? The tower changed that. But Alice looks at Wendy and basically goes and kind of takes a breath.
Alice, you're not the same Alice you were 10 years ago. You're not the same Alice you were 10 minutes ago. I'm not the same Wendy I was 10 minutes ago. Because those 10 minutes, every minute changes you. You just only notice them when the little changes add up. But
Every time I looked at Troy, I saw something different, because every time I looked at Troy, I was different.
he's pretending to tell the goat, but he's right. You are
Okay.
always different, Alice, but you're always you. Just like even before I was Wendy, I was always me. And if you don't want to go, I would rather stay out here with you than finish. I'm sure our friends can deal with it, but if you want to come, I want to come. You to come with me.
I'm nervous. No,
Me too.
I'm
Me too.
scared. But I was able to get out of the tower because I am Alice. And I go where I am not supposed to go. And I do things that are inadvisable, and things always turn out okay. And I may be forced to be a Rapunzel, and that may make me scared. But that's not the end, that's only the middle. She goes ahead and takes Wendy's hand and steps through.
If you're Rapunzel, well, I don't need your hair to climb up the tower. I can fly you. And
That would have been really helpful.
The scary moments don't have to last forever.
As the last two of you step through the gate, it begins to swing closed behind you, and you can see Virgil looking through it. Virgil, any parting words you'd like to give our heroes?
Maybe one day I'll follow you, but I can't yet. But you know what? Just because you step through the gate one way doesn't mean you can't come through the gate the other way. Gates usually swing both ways. If you want to, can come back.
I don't know how true that is, but thank you.
You all begin to walk down the path behind the gate, up to the fortress.
Oh.
Virgil fades from view, and you find yourselves face to face with someone already waiting for you at the castle's entrance.
Right.
You see, with his form shifting much less than the lost one, because this form, it's always white-skinned, it's always masculine in shape. it's really the details that are changing. Sometimes he's clean shaven and there are glasses. Sometimes he's got a dumb little mustache and slicked black hair, but there's just this annoyingly confident air of money about him. He's like, this is what the little historian thinks needed to come my way. You're all adorable.
Adorable.
Well, thank you.
Stop it, you're adorable. Wait, no, you're not.
Scarecrow, please.
I think that he
Oh.
looks like every villain I've ever had to deal with, which means
Oh.
like 3 of them. But you know.
I think he looks at
Oh, kid.
I think he looks like the gunk on the bottom of my shoe.
Oh, is that how it's gonna be? That's now here I am. I'm trying to be a nice guy about all of this, and
Oh, not another one.
he looks at his hand. That's like, oh God, I can't read any of this. And oh, you brought the dog. This dog's not a capybara anymore. Capybaras are big right now. It's like you got to do everything yourself. I swear.
Well, he was quite a large capybara, but that isn't what you mean, is it?
No, I don't
I
think
think
so.
I don't
he
think
would
you've
look
ever
quite
been a
good
nice
as a Pateki Teki.
Oh, what?
Well, a Pateki Teki. Then it's a very fancy bird.
You don't even know what a pataki taki is? Alice
Yeah.
clearly has
I have
no
more
idea.
important things to do. Oh. He turns and looks at the walls. As he's looking, you get a good look at the fortress. At first glance, it looks futuristic. It's got a ton of screens and colored lights everywhere. There is bisexual lighting for days. But you also see that the metal frames around the screens, they're weakened. And this is built on a foundation of rubble and pieces of stories. This looks like the historian's archive got dumped out and crushed under a bulldozer.
What have you done?
Just removing what's not necessary to optimize the experience. It's Medusa, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you've had a lot of trouble, and I'd love to help you, make that go away, find a more enjoyable experience. We could get rid of this whole scaly business even, and maybe set you up with a nice little happily ever after.
The
You know,
fuck is
th-
that?
What's your idea of a happily ever after for me?
Oh, the usual thing. Cute, handsome young man to kiss, nice little house, beautiful clothes. It's all very easily done, and complete makeovers. They're part of making sure that we get the right kind of image.
Is that how you want every story to end?
Ew.
That seems rather limiting. And quite frankly, I've had my fill of handsome men.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can't say that I didn't try, but
I mean,
know,
I think you could say
sometime-
that.
We could very much say that. What do you even know about any of us that makes you think you have any say in what will make us happy?
because I can make you be happy. You see him holding a pen. It's like, I've already done quite a bit of work with this. Project Sisyphus, the Willow Directive. There's just so much more to be done. There's pirates to deal with, singing greasers.
Mm-mm,
And then there's, the
Oh no.
Oh no, oh
we
no.
Oh, no?
defeated him. The end.
We won!
against a good thing going. I don't need people to be telling me, well, actually,
Sam, you're breaking up.
Yeah,
No.
we're breaking up.
Oh.
No.
Live theater, everyone.
Yay!
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
In a
Oh,
second,
no.
Alice is going to go digging through the trash.
Yeah, no. But Sam,
The-
Sam, are you back? Sam, Sam, you
Yep,
broke.
Sam-
I can hear you all, which unfortunately means I was afraid of this. I was prepared for this.
We
Okay.
froze mid monologue, but we're
Yeah,
you're
we're
back.
back.
now.
Froze
back.
mid monologue. Yeah.
So, if I can, Skirka approaches and it inhales and taking a deep breath in, they prepare to have the last anecdote. So
I think Sam is frozen again.
you have to do a lot of judgment here, don't you?
Right.
Judging which stories get discarded, which stories get accepted. You know,
Oh, did we just lose Sam?
can be a tricky thing, you know.
Oh,
I
we
figured
did.
it's a thought before you cast some hasty judgment. So I told you lot about that evil queen that we accidentally put to power, Baladina, right? Well, when she poisoned her lover, she became the sole ruler of the Gniezno throne, right? So she had to rule judgment over some atrocities that happened in her duchy. So first she had to judge the von Kosten poisoning case. Then she had no choice but to send whoever committed it to death, and
You-
then the case of the death of her sister. She
I
was the-
said, shut up! I never get this kind of trouble from Puck!
No,
Okay. Literally, the
Oh,
second
no,
you
Puck.
say that, I think that Alice is going to go and be like, basically like, you don't get to tell our friend to shut up, ever.
No, that at most that is our job. But
and
Frank,
finally, her mother, the one who she abandoned and left blinded, comes
Just
forth
keep
to tell
diving into
everyone
it.
how her daughter, whoever she might be, drove her out in a castle in a storm. Guess what sentence Baladina casts? Well, no other choice but death, right? But well, since the perpetrators are unknown, the judgment will be cast by God. And well, let's just say that a wee bit of lightning ends up hitting Baladina in her face. Not a good time. Not a good time at all. So anyway, be sure to avoid storms, I think, is the moral of the story.
And a
And you
good
know what?
moral.
And
You
you know
know-
what? We're the storm.
So, under the combined weight of them having a really, really dumb plan that completely undermines his entire industry, and that info dump,
We're the
the producer is now going to make, they're going to make a grit roll to try and survive against Skirka's charm roll, because Skirka has the magic of autism on their side.
Hell yeah. All right.
The
I
real
have a
the,
D-
this
I have
this
a
is
D20
this is
on
how neurodivergent
Yes.
This is how I win. Don't
Okay.
actually win the way that guy won. He
Oh,
lost.
my charm roll is one.
Oh,
oh my God, no, absolutely not. I would help you, but my charm is my worst thing.
I have one. Whatchamacallit?
I do have one too, but I feel like charm is my worst, so it's probably not a good idea.
yeah. And
I rolled a 1 on a
unfortunately,
D20.
this is directly targeted at Skirka.
No, no.
Regenerational trauma. Now, the good news is your grit skill, it's the DC you now have to pass is 2.
Oh,
Okay.
But he's like, again, I never had this kind of trouble from Puck. And
well,
you see
God.
and you see like a blast coming straight from the pen pointed towards you.
No.
Make the grit roll.
I did.
Yes, it's 8. So
Oh,
I
good.
feel like Skirka just says, well, I'm not Puck.
Precisely.
The
We
ink
just
harmlessly blasts over your shoulder, and the producer growls.
Bad at this.
people
I
like you always think
Honestly, you've built your throne on a rubble of nightmares. Which, honestly, how could
People
you?
like-
I get the whole death, destruction, and mayhem thing. Trust me, have you met my family? You've met my family. They're all like half war gods 90% of the time. Look, I understand the need to build something out of destruction. It's what you humans do. But you're also really fucking stupid sometimes. Like, incredibly stupid.
That
Yes.
we'll agree on.
Everybody thinks that's what I'm doing. Everybody thinks I'm destroying. I'm not destroying. I'm creating something better, you know? I'm taking all
No,
the
you're
parts that
not. If
everybody
you're creating
loves
something
and
better,
getting
you'd
rid
be
of everything
creating.
else. That's not destroying. That's
You'd be s-
improving. That's evolving. That's the nature of capitalism, babe.
But what if you take away the parts that people that maybe not everyone loves, but some people love?
And
There-
if you
there
were
are-
really improving on things, you'd be creating your own fucking stories. Honestly, you're just kind of a hack.
You
People-
take my story and you ask 20 different people what that story means to them, you'll get 20 different answers. How can you be certain your version is going to get all 20 of them?
That's what focus groups are for.
God.
You
I don't know what that
God.
is.
University graduate. You would be laughed out of the room in a traditional storytelling competition. You wouldn't even make it to the stage. Your family would have disowned you, and you would have been cast out in the cold where you would have never, ever, ever seen civilization ever again. And quite frankly, I think that's what we should do to you.
You know what's the worst thing about
Tempting.
you? It isn't that you're evil. It isn't that you're trying to destroy stories. It isn't even that you're, well, like that. It's that you're boring. You want to make everything boring.
Precisely.
How can it be boring if everybody keeps liking it?
Because
You
if
can
they all-
say the
because you just keep doing the same things you've done over and over and over and over and over again until we're all just so bored with them.
For
Well,
most
you
of
know what?
my
why
It
mess
doesn't-
with a winning formula?
It
And
doesn't
with a
even.
wave of the pen, you see a few of the screens start to rise up.
Oh great.
You got bots.
Oh great.
Look, it doesn't even matter if it's working for you. There's nothing wrong with a thing being popular. But just because a popular thing exists doesn't mean there shouldn't be other less popular versions of it. I don't need people to like my version of my story. It's mine.
Also, popular things are bad sometimes, and the group think gets to you because humans in a collective are kind of dumb.
Out of
You
character.
see,
Out of character. Pumpkin spice lattes rule.
Hell yes.
And Star
Alice-
Wars is great. And there's a lot of shit in the MCU that is like top tier cinema. And I don't have a problem with things being popular just because they're popular. I like
I also
things.
don't have that, but it's funnier if Loki does.
Fair
Of
enough.
course.
Okay. Back in character.
Yeah, so if people like you had their way, I would only ever be a monster. It's only recently that people have begun to see me as anything else, really. So, frankly, I'm sick and tired of people in power deciding for me. That's kind of what got me into this mess in the first place. So, quite frankly, I would very much prefer we kick your ass, as it were.
I mean, do you have any idea how all of you sound so selfish?
Oh my
You just keep going, me, my story, how I want it. Like, what about everybody who reads your story? You know, don't they deserve to have a good time with it? Don't
They
they
invent
deserve
the version
happy
they like
endings?
best,
That's what
and
I'm
that's their
here for.
prerogative.
We're
There
not going to
are-
take them away from them. They can have their stories, just leave us ours.
Hey, producer, have you read the comments?
Producer,
Y-
I can't believe I'm even trying to reason with you. Very recently, there have been people who suffered quite similar to me, who have begun looking at me as a symbol of strength. And up until now, I didn't know what to make of it. But now, hearing what you have to say, how you want to sand off everything about me that they have taken as a symbol of power, No. I don't care for the idea of you trying to take that away from them.
I'm going to reason with you differently. I think everyone is wrong. No, you're not entitled to your happy endings. Sometimes endings are sad.
That's how life is.
Who are you to tell us how my story has to end? Who are you to tell me that everyone has to relate to my story? In most versions of my story, I remain
Oh no, not again.
a teenage boy living in a faraway land forever. Don't you think there are some little boys who wish they were little girls who deserve a version of my story that's for them?
Precisely.
And there are those who choose to believe that all of that gender, you humans and your quaint little categories, you get so
Mm.
hung up on them sometimes.
I live in the world, Loki. I have to live in the world.
Well, here's the
You
thing.
don't-
I'm a god. I don't have to.
And you know what?
To be fair,
I
even
don't want a
people
happy
don't
ending
necessarily
either.
need.
I want to create even more evil queens.
I like them.
Quite to the point there, Skirka.
Well,
I
I give you
I-
all credit. You sure know how to talk a guy's ear off. And he snaps his
off, too.
fingers.
Frankly, I'm about ready to take off my glasses. I don't know about you.
I suggest doing
Okay,
it.
he's made an 11 fight check. Anybody who can beats that gets a hit on him.
Fight
Okay,
check.
I think-
All right.
Okay.
Gets
Oh,
a hit on
God.
him and the robots.
Now why
I'm
did
so
my
bad at fight.
now,
Bad roll. Fuck you.
why on
D20.
earth did my oh, it's not. I am,
Oh
Sure.
no!
but I will do my best.
Okay. Instead
9.
of
I am
fighting,
going to.
instead of
going to-
fighting, can I?
You did explode, Medusa. You did get an explosion, but
Oh,
it
cool.
wasn't enough.
going
Nobody.
to help Medusa with my newly gained adversity tokens.
You are very kind, Maya.
Do you have to beat
Okay.
11 or just reach 11?
Beat it.
You have to beat 11.
Okay. You have a +4.
You also
So-
have to take grit checks for regeneration.
Okay, so it would be 9 plus 4, or
Yes.
do I have to roll again?
No, 9 plus 4.
It's 9 plus 4.
Okay, so
It's 9
13.
plus 4. No. Medusa, you managed to turn one of the producer's robots to stone. No problem.
Nice.
Everybody else who tried to do a fight takes a whacking from them, and again, regenerational trauma. Good news is both of you have had your grit rolls brought down to a 2.
Hell yeah.
Instead
Good enough.
of attempting to attack directly, because that's
Oh,
not really Alice's thing.
Skirka. Alice, I'll get to you in a second.
Yep.
Skirka, you get hit, and this time you're ending up with your ears even longer and pointier, and your hair becomes long and white, and you're in a red tunic with a little purple sash, and you just
No!
hear the name Puck.
Oh no! Not just any Puck, too.
No, he's not.
Maybe now you'll be cooperative.
Oh. Can I fight him again? Can I fight him again?
Let's let Alice
Fair enough.
Alice take a whack at it first. Alice
Fair
has
enough.
something she wants to do.
Yeah,
Go ahead, sorry.
I have a really dumb idea. But I
I
want
love a
to,
dumb idea.
instead of fighting directly, because that's not really what Alice does, I would like to dig around in the trash to see if I can unleash a metaphor for consumerism on him by reaching into Alice in Zombieland from Gina Showalter.
I will call that a brains roll, difficulty 8.
I love this. I love this so much.
It's not gonna do it. I'm
I will give
I'm
you
gonna
one of
spend
Go ahead.
I'm gonna spend my last 2 adversity tokens and try and re-roll it. And then if I don't make
Okay,
it,
hang
then
on.
it's-
You because remember you
I
can
exploded.
either. Oh,
On the re-roll, I exploded.
oh. All right. Tell me what the consumerism monster looks like as it jumps out at the producer.
Straight up zombies in that book.
Okay. So the zombies start coming towards the producer. He's like, hey, there's no need to be like that. Hey, check this out. And you see like some poorly color graded garbage action show starts flickering on the TV screens, but these zombies are locked on the producer. They start like dragging him forward. Hey.
While
No.
this is happening, can Loki throw up an illusion of himself like he's still standing where he was and use the zombies as a way of sneaking towards him to try and, like, as he's flailing about, slide the pen out of his grasp?
Ooh.
Charm roll, difficulty 10.
I love this so much. This is
Be careful,
the
they
fights have
might
been
be
so good.
dangerous to us too.
Well, it would be fun otherwise. Yeah.
18. Honestly, this is going so badly for the producer. He's trying to fight off the zombies. He just full on drops the pen and it
And
lands
as he does,
easily in your hand.
Yeah, Loki sort of goes, thank you very much. He sort of slides back out of the zombie horde and goes, he sort of like flips it once like a dagger and goes, snap!
You can see like the shine and the polish leaving the producer's hair as he just, it's kind of like what happened with Bluebeard. He's just getting more weaselly and sad. Hey, no, come on. I'm trying to run a business here. I'm trying to make everybody happy, except for my employees. I'm getting like 20,000 times the salary they're getting. But no, come on. We're in the business
The
of making
more-
dreams here.
More he
clearly not making
complains,
us happy.
Loki will take the like each half and snap each half again.
Oh, that's just excessive. Come on.
I think Loki and I, having existed as long as we have, are proof we don't actually need you to create dreams.
And I think that you're trying to tell us what makes us happy. And I
That
can
too.
make myself happy.
Perhaps
Why
one day I
fan
can.
fiction is so great.
Correct.
You can't make everyone happy. And someday you're gonna end up regretting this. Mark,
Today's not that day though.
There'll always be more like you.
I don't want to make everyone happy. I don't even want to make anyone else happy. If I'm writing my own story, the only person it has to make happy is me.
wait, no, that's not how it works.
But it's
That's
exactly
not how
how
it works.
Says who?
Exactly how it works.
You try to make yourself happy, and if others are happy about it, that's wonderful, but
Not necessary.
perhaps that's not necessarily what you need to do.
All that's required for a story is 2 people. That's it. Just 2. One to tell it, one to hear it.
Sometimes not even that.
Mm-hmm.
What is self if not a story you tell?
It's true.
The zombies start to pull away, and the producer is now on his knees. You just see this sad little man who's done nothing but chase money and what he thinks will net him the most of it under the guise of making people happy. And it's honestly kind of depressing, but not in a way that like you feel pity. It's more like, oh, gross. How is anybody suckered in by this?
You're just now gross. You poor little monkey man.
I have to do before I end this, I have to do the bit that I always planned on this. And also, all the versions of my story that everyone has ever made to make money have sucked. And then she stabs him.
Well
Give
played,
me
Wendy.
a fight
well
roll. No, brawn roll, difficulty 5.
Brawn roll. Nope. Wait, I got 3 adversity tokens. Bing, bing, bing. That's 5.
You get him in the stomach.
Yes.
Anyone else want to get a swing on him before we try to?
And maybe
Can
maybe
I-
Wendy walks away quietly whistling "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Oh no! Medusa kneels down and just kind of shakes her head. It's just like, you know, you're not even worth turning to stone. Stone lasts. And she lets the snakes bite him.
Can I just put a pine cone in his mouth so he
Yes.
saying
This is the
things?
Yes, you
meanest
may.
party. We are so mean to all of the villains.
He has
They
a
suck.
pumpkin.
They both had it coming.
I'm
Oh,
not saying
she's
it's
gonna be like,
bad.
yeah,
Loki-
decompose, and then spin on her heels and
Loki-
walk.
Loki will sort of stride towards him and go, yeah, that's the funny thing about you mortals. You always think you're gods until you actually meet one, and then you'll flounder. It's always a fun time.
We weren't terribly gobstruck by you.
Eh,
The producer
we all
I
play
like
some
you a lot.
mortals.
Oh,
makes his own crit check and fails.
Yeah.
You see a man shriveling up until all you have is a tiny, tiny man sobbing and holding a blue blanket in prison garb.
Oh.
Aw. Sad.
Around you, the fortress begins to crumble,
oh
and
my
a forest starts to rise up again.
Scatter!
While
And
that's
it's not any one kind of forest. You know, you see some of the glass and gold trees from the enchanted wood, and you see some of the spindly, scary trees from the haunted wood. You even see some of the artificial trees coming in, but they look nicer. There's color in them. It looks like somebody lovingly hand painted them. It looks like stories are starting to run wild in this place again. Because you've broken the producer not only in his tools, but in his spirit. And
Also with
as
you.
that's happening, as that's happening, as the fortress is crumbling apart, Skirka's gonna look into the camera. They're going to make a peace sign, and they're going to say, "Hey, check out Balladina, a play, an English translation by Marion Moore Coleman, at your local library."
Best
In-
fourth wall break
from
ever.
his tiny
Alice
spot where
stares
he's
directly into
still
the
slowly
fourth wall.
dwindling into nothingness, the producer goes, he's gone.
I did not hear what you said there, Sam. I'm heartbroken.
Who are you talking to?
Oh.
The producer does not comprehend fourth wall breaks.
Oh, Deadpool exists.
I'm not Wendy is never breaking the fourth wall. Wendy is pushing back the fourth wall until it contains the audience.
Aw.
I have to. I'm out of character. I really quick need to ask: was that a producer's reference? Is the producer Leo Bloom?
On the advice of my lawyer, I can neither confirm nor deny this.
Okay,
Oh
sorry.
my god.
While everything starts to like change around them, Wendy's gonna start wiping down. She did stab someone a second ago. She's gonna start wiping down her blade. Say, well, as long as I've gone very far off the track of my normal story,
So
Alice,
cool.
how do you feel about a crossover? I'll show you Neverland if you show me Wonderland.
I would love that.
As you talk, you see that most of the forest has sprouted up, but there's now a lovely clear lake at the edge of your feet. And you can see yourselves reflected in it, just as you are. No glimpses of regenerational trauma, just messy, flawed, unique stories that are completely your own.
Hey, Medusa,
Yes?
I think I'm kind of done with lakes at the moment. Do you think caves would be good for a fairy like me?
Well, I'll admit I've not been the best at keeping a home suited for anyone but me, but I think I think we could perhaps make something work there.
Oh, hell yeah. And we're gonna have sleepovers and things like that. Why not?
Why not?
Okay. So Loki, everybody else seems to be pairing up. Does that mean I ship all of it? Maybe, maybe not. Again, on the advice of my lawyer, I won't say. But Loki,
in traditional Loki fashion, sort of knew this was coming because let's face it, Loki is Loki is Loki.
Come with us.
He will sort of, politely just sort of go, well, it's been an honor. If I had to get dragged on an adventure with mortals, it might as well have been you lot.
In fairness,
think
I was
Skirk
never
is-
mortal, but
I don't think Skirk
Your
is
point
mortal,
is-
but I'm not clear.
nor am I, but your point is taken anyway.
But nice knowing you all. I will. Well, you're in my neck of the woods. You'll know where to find me. Just listen for the yelling and then, follow the yelling.
If any of you, I mean,
Loki.
besides Alice, who's coming with me, but if any of you want to come visit me, you should all know how to get there, right? Second
Loki,
star on the right. Second star on the right, straight on till morning.
I'll keep that
Loki?
in mind. And
Loki, for me, you will always be important.
oh.
and Loki,
Mm.
as far as gods I've met,
I
you're
sucked
all
the
right.
least.
Pardon?
I sucked the least.
Precisely.
Well, I certainly enjoy your snake motif.
Very
Thank
strong
you.
motif.
I've been
And
fond
that
of them, I'll
we're
admit.
going to end regenerational trauma. Yay, we did it! And a big thank you to Pam Pasalt. Our final NPC is Virgil. Pam, are you still here?
Yep.
All right, come on screen. Let's give you a little woohoo! Thank you for waiting around so long. Yay! And thank you again to all our wonderful players. Thank you to everybody who donated, and thank you to our Groundlings chat. Thank you, Worlds Elsewhere.
Thank you.
Oh, this was amazing.
Hell yeah. Let's do it again sometime. That was a good story. Let's tell it again sometime.
Yeah.
We'll change it.
Bye.
You can always expect the ending to be different.